Great time. And hopefully next
And maybe even some older owners is, but I'm back.
Hey there, fools. Mizzah Tee back again with the new and improved Pretendo Directs. Going forward, we're going to have a new format, not only for Pretendo Directs, but for the Mizzah Tee show as well. And what I'm going to be doing now is formally introducing you fools to a voice that you've heard over the last few months, especially while I've been kidnapped and incarcerated. The voice you've been hearing is Big T. And of course, I'm Mizzah Tee. For certain videos, you're going to hear from both of us sharing duties as far as presenting ideas and our thoughts on video games. And also, you're going to see us both together at the same time. That's going to be a lot of fun. But without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about that Switch presentation. And let me introduce a fools that you've been already hearing from, and that's Big T. Take it away, T.
Thanks, fools. Thanks, Mizzah Tee. I'm very excited on the future in the Mizzah Tee show, and I'm also obviously excited to talk about the Nintendo Switch presentation. The event pretty much went off how I thought it would. The only thing that was a surprise to me was the refocus on motion controls and the HD Rumble. And I just want to say that demo of the HD Rumble, the glass of ice and the water and all that stuff, I immediately understood. And I know a lot of people thought some people thought it was stupid, some people didn't follow it, but for me, I immediately got it. And I think one of the reasons why some people get things like that and some people don't, because people learn differently and they understand things differently. You have people that learn better by hearing. You have people that learn better by seeing, or a combination. I mean, there's multiple combinations of how people learn and take in things and understand things. I don't know what my learning perspective would be, but for me, I immediately understood when I saw the glass, the ice cube fall, and I just immediately understood that. It made immediate sense to me. And I understand why it wouldn't make immediate sense to everybody, because like I said, people process things differently. So for me, it really was a good demo of what it was about. I could immediately feel it in my hands when he was explaining what that was about and how the ice, you could feel all the different cubes in, and you can feel them individually. I just thought, oh man, this is going to be really cool. It was very unexpected, because one of the things when the Switch was initially revealed and talked about the controller and all that stuff, one of the reasons I wasn't, as excited as I wanted to be was that it just looked like, oh, you detach these pieces of the controller, you slide them into the Joy-Con grip, you have that, and you could take them apart and you could do, these things. But to me, that wasn't that exciting, especially after hearing about it and people talking about it for so long because of the initial post E3 rumors and stuff, mainly the Eurogamer stuff that everybody shared. That took away some of the excitement of that, and the HD Rumble immediately brought that back, along with the IR camera. When I saw that, I was like, yes. It felt like looking at the Wii remote again for the first time. And for me, a lover of the Wii and the motion control, I was very excited about that. Here's the thing, like, if you don't care about motion controls, you're not gonna be, this time, forced, quote unquote, forced to use them, because the main reason Nintendo isn't going to, quote unquote, force you into motion controls or even the HD Rumble is that the Switch is also being marketed as a handheld mobile device. Think about that. If it also has to give you the same experience, basically, the same main experience, handheld as it does on your TV screen, you can't have stuff like Wii Sports and things of that nature, because you're going to be swinging on the handheld realm, you're going to be swinging at a little screen, and that just does not work. So anybody worried that, oh, this is going to be the Wii all over again, like I said, to me, that would be fine, but I know there's a lot of people didn't like the Wii. So those people worried about that, you don't have to worry, because you're not going to be forced. And the main reason for that is, again, a game like ARMS. ARMS was shown off at the event, and I was smiling ear to ear. I was just like, this is awesome, because one of my favorite games from Wii Sports was the boxing, and I got like really strategic and into the boxing, unlike most people. Most people probably just, throw their arms and swing and swing and punch, and until hopefully they win. I was very strategic. I was dodging. I was going side to side. Some of the very similar stuff that I saw in ARMS used as a strategy. Tilting both Joy-Cons from left to right will let you move and dodge and all that stuff. And that's the stuff I was doing in boxing. It's there, but a lot of people just didn't use it because they just wanted to swing, and punch at the screen and didn't get into the depth. So when I saw that, I was like, great. But the thing is, that game is not going to require you to play motion only. Like, again, they want to make sure the games that you play on a TV will translate to the handheld. And you can't have motion on the go on that little screen because it just doesn't work. So it has traditional controls, so you can choose what you want to do. And that's why I said this it will be even more appealing than the Wii, because it's not quote unquote forcing you to do motion. You can still have a traditional setup, and I think that is the genius of this console. You can go traditional if you want, and you can go motion as well. That is very cool. Hopefully, the shooters, the Wii Remote back in the day, a lot of people got really good at it. I wasn't great at it. I still found it fun. It made shooters fun for me again. I know a lot of people are really good at it. Red Knight is a fan of Call of Duty, and I know he was really good on the Wii. I remember his old videos from ECC Wii back in the day of him playing, just beasting in Call of Duty, using the motion controls. His kill streaks were kind of ridiculous, so I know he's very excited about that. So hopefully games will, because that feature is there, they will actually utilize it, because there's a nice contingency of people who want that back, and I'm one of them. So again, you'll get traditional controls and you'll also get motion controls, and you won't be forced to either one. And that moves me into Splatoon 2, which they talked about on the event. They addressed my main concern about Splatoon 2. Well, one of them anyway, was the gyro pointing controls, the gyro looking and movement, and it's gonna return for those who want it, and I'm so overjoyed by that. I'm very happy about that. We are still losing the map, being able to jump right to your friends and whatnot. It's going to be 2 steps, because you got to bring up a little mini map, and then you got to press a button to jump to your compadres. So that sucks. It's not as intuitive as being able to just tap the screen and stuff, but it's a good enough workaround, because I think the gyro for me was more important. Although it's really cool to be able to see the map at all times and know what percentage of where you're going and all that stuff. This will just add an extra step, but the main game is there, so I'm very happy about that. We talked about why isn't a game like 1-2 Switch packed in, and I think that's one of the main reasons, is that it is a motion necessary HD Rumble even necessary game. And so for that reason, you can't do that on the go the same way you can do that at home with a TV and a bunch of people. So I think for that reason, they're selling it separately. But I just think because it's so niche that even a guy like me who loves motion controls and thinks that's cool, I'm not overly excited about 1-2 Switch. I actually wish they would have just did it to a different game and added that stuff into like a WarioWare type of game. I would have loved that. But paying $50, I think that's what it's cost, for 1-2 Switch around at launch, I might pick it up later on. It's just a fun little thing to have, but $50 at launch, there's not enough there for me for that. So obviously there was some issues with the stream. There were some translation problems, mostly having to do with some colorful quips and whatnot that were hard to translate for the poor translator. basically from Suda 51. Other than that, it went pretty well. I like the fact that they, it was very business-like, very Japanese business-like, but I like the fact that they try to, make some light of it by doing the whole, let's switch to this person and switch to that, and they do the snap, and I thought that was cool that they integrated that. I would have liked maybe one more big game announcement. I think Super Mario Odyssey was pretty huge. I'll be talking about that separately in a different video. I'm so excited about Super Mario Odyssey. Also, I think it's called Super Bomberman R. I think that's the full title. I'm so excited about Super Bomberman R. I'm a huge Bomberman fan from Super Nintendo through N64 and Saturn. Huge Bomberman fan. So glad it's coming back. Bomberman's back. I'm happy about that. I hope it does well. And Konami is actually making a game on a console. That's not something I thought I would ever see again or see much of, so that's cool. Yeah, overall, I really liked the press conference because that's basically what it was. It was a press conference and also kind of a press business conference. It was for shareholders as well to get a look at the new hardware, and there was still a lot of stuff left out. One being not a solid launch, actual games list. Part of that probably had to do with the fact that this conference was mostly catering to the Japanese market. Obviously, it was held in Japan, and it was, they were speaking Japanese, and we got translated, so we were kind of the second tier. So maybe that was one of the reasons why they couldn't give us a solid launch list, because it's going to be different for Japan and North America what the game's going to be. So hopefully we'll get that soon, like a solid list of games of what's going to actually be there day one. I've already got my 3 games, and that's good enough for me for a launch. I usually get about 3 games. So Zelda Breath of the Wild, obviously getting that. I'm also going to get Super Bomberman R. Like I said, there were some questions about the online, what's going to go on with that. I'm not going to rant about it. Obviously, I talked about this already in Juicy Lou's podcast. I don't like having to pay for online for anybody, and that's going to be the same for Nintendo. So they were the last bastion of console hope for free online, and apparently it did cost them some money on the Wii U. Wii U was a bigger money drainer than I thought, and I won't jump the gun like a lot of people are doing without having full information. I like to have all the information before I start talking about something, at least a big grasp of what I'm talking about. So like I said, it went pretty much how I thought it would, and it ended beautifully. They played around with us with the release date of Breath of the Wild, which I contend after that last delay, when they said they were delaying it basically because they were doing a Switch version, and basically the Switch was being pushed back for the game to be done. That to me told me it was going to be a launch title from the beginning. So all this rumor, and this BS rumor stuff where you had these, you know who they are, you had these people who have credentials from somewhere, I still don't know where, who people took their rumors and ran with them, and they kept reporting all these people's rumors. You had these people going and, oh no, it's going to be day one here but not there, my source over here is saying, and all this nonsense, when if you just listened to what Nintendo said, you would have known that it was going to be a launch game from the beginning for the Switch, because the Switch was basically pushed back for this game, and this game was pushed back for the Switch, if that makes any sense. So they ended it with probably one of the most glorious video game trailers I've ever seen. It was so epic. I was just amazed by it, and I was blown away by Zelda Breath of the Wild's trailer. And I haven't been this excited for video games or video game consoles since my favorite console of all time, which was the N64. Seeing stuff coming out about that, I was so into it, and I was reading every ounce of information I could. Back then, that's what you had to do. You didn't press a button and listen to somebody else's video impressions. You actually had to read, and so I was reading every piece of information about it, and just looking at the screenshots all the time, what little screenshots came out that were in magazines, and just really excited about it. And the Switch is the most I've been excited about gaming since the N64, and to me that is just crazy. It's especially at now in my age and in my place in life, and you know, being a dad and all that stuff, and seeing my kids' joy, man. You think I'm excited? My kid is super excited about the Switch, and just being able to share that with him this is just an amazing time to be a gamer, amazing time to be a Nintendo fan, especially. I'm super excited, and just, you know, like I said, I'm gonna be doing focus videos talking about specific games, Breath of the Wild and Odyssey, Super Mario Odyssey, which oh, that game looked great. Its greatness, again, it made me feel the way I felt when I first saw Mario 64. And like I said, I don't want to talk too much about that. I'll get into that later, but I'm very happy, excited. Obviously, there are issues with you know, stuff I've talked about before. I'll get into that again later, but this is looking like, to me, a very successful console for Nintendo, and it's successful for me because it's going to deliver great games, and I'm going to be happy. Yeah, so those are my thoughts on the presentation itself. Let me throw it back to Mizzah Tee.
Well, fools, let me know what you think about our thoughts on the presentation for the Nintendo Switch, and what you think about our new format. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, fools, as always, and I'll see you next time. Oh yeah, one more thing. Play Nintendo, fools. And thank you all for watching Mizzah Tee Show.